There's some Jason Kidd drama going on this weekend. As everybody knows, Jason Kidd, he was a fantastic NBA player. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And as soon as he retired, he was able to jump straight to head coaching for the Brooklyn Nets. And his first season was a roller coaster. It was up and down. Well, actually, maybe it was more down than up. So let's recap his first season as a head coach. He took over a team that was expected to win it all. They made so many moves in the offseason. They traded away all their draft picks. They added Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. They already had overpaid players in Joe Johnson and Darren Williams. And then Brook Lopez. He has so much potential, but he always seems to be injured. And then, of course, because of this lineup, because of all these players they have together, they're paying way over the luxury tax. And that's because they expected to win a championship right now, not later, not in the future. They're not rebuilding. They thought that they could win a championship right now. And Jason Kidd had a very rough first season as a head coach. They almost didn't make the playoffs. They got off to a terrible start, just like the New York Knicks. It wasn't looking good. It was looking like they weren't going to make the playoffs. They were going to go into the lottery, but they crawled back somehow, made it in, and then they struggled in the first round against the Raptors. They had to go 7 games. Then, of course, they got eliminated by the Miami Heat in 5 games. His first season was nothing but drama. He also had to plead guilty to a DUI charge. He had an incident at the end of one of his games where he spilled a drink on the court so that he could get a timeout. I think he got fined $50K for that. And then, of course, he was criticizing the referees. So with a first season like this, you know what Jason Kidd did this weekend? He thought it would be a good idea to go to ownership and start making demands. After a disappointing first season, rocky up and down, he thinks that he can demand to be in charge of basketball operations, to be able to say who gets traded, to oversee all these activities as a first-year head coach. Are you serious? Of course, the Brooklyn Nets denied his demand. That kind of power in an organization comes for proven coaches, coaches that get results, coaches like Greg Popovich, coaches that win. You can't be a rookie head coach and then start making all these demands. Jason Kidd is cheesing. Could you imagine somebody trying to do that in real life? Well, this is real life, but you know what I mean. Like, let's say you start a job. You start working for a company. It's your first year there. You're a rookie. And you made some mistakes like Jason Kidd. You got in trouble with the law. You got some fines. You had some issues. And then at the end of your first year there in the company, you go to the CEO and you say you want to be in control of managing the floor and managing the manager that managed the floor. And you want a raise after that bumpy year that you had and you're a rookie? Really? What? You gotta be kidding me. No first-year coaches get that kind of treatment, get that kind of love. But the funny thing is that now, apparently Jason Kidd might be working for the Milwaukee Bucks. And they don't even know what position he's gonna be because the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks was never notified that they were pursuing Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd got permission from the Nets to interview with the Bucks. None of them knew about this. So this is a very interesting developing story. And apparently that decision came directly from the owners because one of the owners is friends with Jason Kidd. And the power that Jason Kidd is demanding to have in the league right now. There's maybe less than 5 coaches that have that kind of power that can control the organization like that. That can say who we want to draft in the draft, who we want to trade for. Guys like Greg Popovich, Doc Rivers, Phil Jackson had that privilege when he was a coach. But none of these other coaches in the league have this power. So what makes Jason Kidd think that he's entitled to get this kind of privilege when he's not even a proven coach? It's only been 1 season. And his season, you could say, was very disappointing because he had this roster. And on paper, they looked like they were supposed to be a problem, but they struggled to even make the playoffs. So let me know what you think about Jason Kidd trying to cheese. I think he's looking at the future of the Nets, and he doesn't want his coaching career to get ruined by this one team, because going into the future, they don't have any draft picks. They're not really going to get any better. They got a lot of aging players. They got a lot of players that are overpaid, so you can't really trade them. So how are they going to get better and start winning so that he can improve his coaching record, so that he can demand a position like that later in the future? Social media is letting me know that I'm going to be in the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. Last season it never happened, so we'll see what happens. We're on a 19-game winning streak. I have 281 steals, and I'm trying to get the record for steals in the season. I believe it's 301 or 308. I have plenty of games to get that done.